Hi lovelies, welcome to my YouTube channel. Words I never thought I'd say. Alright, so here we are finally. Thanks to the support of you guys and the gentle nudging of a couple of my friends, I did finally decide that it was time. You guys know I love content creation. You know how much effort and love I put into my Instagram page. So it was only natural for me to actually take this step and create content that was more longer lasting and more accessible for you guys to really benefit from it, and also just cover areas that I frequently get asked about as well. So of course, it took a lot of cutting away of negative energy and nervous energy which you have around starting anything new, which I had with my style videos, which I had with my Instagram, everything really. So of course, when you are on a journey of positivity, of your law of attraction, your universal energy, when you want to tap into your full potential, you guys know that you have to breathe away those energies that keep making you doubt, keep making you not trust yourself and question yourself. So that's what I did, and we are finally here. And before I forget, because I'm so new to this, do subscribe and press the bell icon and you will be notified when all other fun, interesting videos come up. So guys, when I was thinking about what I should talk about the first video I make, because for my channel I knew exactly the direction I wanted to take and what I wanted to create content on. So when it came time to really knuckle down and get the first video out, I was like, what do I want to talk about? And what does every mother want to talk about? Their baby. No, I do not have an actual baby, but I do have a baby, and that is Waidurya, my clothing brand. So I thought, okay, why not talk about Waidurya? Because a lot of you have on various occasions asked me a lot about how I started, when I started, why I started, what I did to get started, just a bunch of questions. And I thought, okay, let me really get in depth and try to give you all the information you need and some of the learnings from my journey as well, which will be later in the video. So anybody who's got their own business know that it is a full-time job, it is a passion, it's something that you think about all the time and something you are pretty much obsessed with. So I thought, let me start there. Okay, so I have notes because I like to be organized. And of course, my notebooks, they have to be cute, right? So this is so pretty. I've been saving this for a special occasion for like 3 years. I got this in Korea, and it's just so pretty. Haven't been able to use it. So
finally, it's going to be my YouTube content book, and of course my journal plus gratitude journal, which I love, and this also is very pretty.
So this was 2013, so many years ago, and I was living in Mumbai. I was extremely downtrodden emotionally because I was working there, trying to crack it in Bollywood, trying to become a Bollywood actor, and it was taking forever. And I decided, all right, this wasn't going so well, and at the same time I was ignoring these signs that the universe was trying to give me. So in Mumbai, I would do these performances where for large audiences do dance numbers, dance items, and I really love performing. You guys know that as well. And I would make my own costumes, and it was just the most enjoyable process for me. And whenever I did, everyone would always ask me, who did your costume, who's your designer? And I was like, me. So universe was trying to give me signs throughout, but I was fully determined to continue with my Bollywood journey, and that's where all my energy went. And then finally, one fine day, actually very non-fine day, because it was stormy and it was rainy, and I was flying from Colombo to Mumbai, and the flight nearly did not make it. I was praying to all gods and I was freaking out, and once the flight landed, I was honestly just glad to be alive like I've never been before. And it made me question a lot of things, and it made me question a lot of those 5-year, 10-year plans that all of us have. And I was like, you know what? This clothing brand idea was in my 5-year, 10-year plan. And I was thinking, that may never come. So all we have is right now, all we have is the present. And I was thinking, what can I do in the present to make myself happier, to make myself more successful, to make myself live my truth, my authentic life. And that's when I decided, all right, I'm going to start my business, but it wasn't supposed to be a business at the time. It was just like, what do I enjoy doing? I love making clothes, let me just do that. So I was at the time getting pocket money from mom for survival, and I saved some of that, and she gave me some extra as well. But I think with around $150 or less than that, I started my first collection, which was 15 saris, and I just put them on Facebook. And at the beginning, I was going from tailor to tailor just to find a person who would do sari borders and things like that. And most people didn't know how to do it. Most people didn't want to do it. Most people were overcharging. And finally, there was this guy I was using for my costumes called Raju, and I'm forever thankful to Raju for getting me started, because he said, I don't know how to do it exactly, but you know, we can give it a crack. And I said, why don't we learn together? And both of us kind of just figured it out. And I had my friend Daisy as well, who really, I mean, she was coming along everywhere with me, because you know, you do need moral support in life, and I'm so grateful that I had that. I still have that. I still remember doing my first photo shoot for Waidurya as well. And the thing that I did at the time was basically sticking to who I was, you know, my style sense, because a lot of the saris were very like nude, neutral, black, white, and everyone was like, I don't think anybody's gonna want to wear saris that are beige. But beige is a life for me, guys. Beige and neutral and nudes and everything on that spectrum, gray, black, white, that's what I live for. So I was like, no, I have to be true to me, and in case this doesn't work out, I will still have saris that I would love to wear. So I created a collection that was very me, very nude, very beige, and it took off. I think people saw something that was very new at the time, and a different voice, a different opinion on ethnic fashion. And so rest is history. We're here now, 7 years down the line, and we are successful. We are much loved by clients from all over the world, and I couldn't ask for more. Well, I could ask for more. Am I going to ask for more? Yeah, I will ask for more. So another question that I get all the time is about the name Waidurya. What is this? Which language is it? What does it mean? And it's my name, guys. It's my name. It's my middle name, and my parents got really creative with my names, as you know, Gamya, and then there's Waidurya. So it's my name. It means the gem cat's eye, and I just wanted to use that name because it's just sitting there on my passport like unutilized. So I decided to use that, and of course it became the signature. It became well known, and I love the fact that your brand takes over your actual name, because there was a moment, I think it was 2016 or 2017, I can't remember exactly, but I was traveling and I was in London, and I was in Primark. Oh, I miss Primark. I was in Primark, and somebody called out Waidurya, and I looked around and I was like, there has to only be just this one Waidurya, right? And I turned around, and it was somebody who'd been following me on Instagram, not me, but the brand, and they wanted a picture with me because I was the person behind Waidurya. They were a fan of the brand, not me. They had no idea I was, you know, a Miss Sri Lanka or any of that stuff. And that to me was such a turning point, and that was huge for me. So I thank that girl in my heart every single day, because it gave me the courage I needed to keep going, you know. As you know now, Waidurya is globally known. It's, you know, we have been one of the first brands to do ethnic clothes online through a website for the world as a Sri Lankan company. And that process, that journey has been, it's been crazy. I've done pretty much everything by myself on the business front, but I've had an amazing team who've backed me up, and a lot of support from my friends and family as well, people who believe in me, because sometimes we really need that. But believe you me, sometimes you won't always get that either. So you have to be able to believe in yourself on behalf of yourself every single time you take up a challenge or do anything in life. And of course, I want to talk about some of the learnings as well that I've gathered throughout the years in this journey. So let's go through them one by one. First one, which also applies to my YouTube journey: don't wait. When you have an idea that is delivered to you by the universe or the divinity or whatever you believe in, or God, or anything that you believe in, when it's delivered to you, you need to be able to recognize that and understand that whatever you feel excitement towards means something. So don't ignore it. Don't put it away. Don't put it away to a time that's better suited circumstances wise, because that may never happen. So don't wait. I started with what I had at the time 7 years ago, and with very little, but you can always build from that. So that's something I really encourage young people to do, and pretty much anyone to do, because I see a lot of people just waiting for a better time to come. Which brings me to my second point: start somewhere. You know the saying, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. It's like that. So you may not know how the next thing is going to pan out, but just starting somewhere, it sets the momentum for your goal to kind of be put in place, because the universe is always working for you, but you got to also take inspired action. So that first step is your inspired action, and then the next task, whatever is next. I don't even know, guys. Whenever he's done barking, I'll re-embark on my journey. Oh, you will also get used to my really bad mum jokes. What happens is, when you are taking one step at a time, the next thing just tends to fall into place. So when I started, there was no website, there was no Instagram, it was just Facebook, and I didn't have any of the logistics sorted. I didn't have a team properly. So it just kind of built from there. So even, for example, I didn't have an embroidery team at the time. So somebody requested something that had an embroidery element to it, one of my customers, and I just didn't want to not take that up, and I said, okay, let's see what we can do. And then I actually looked around and found people who can do that. So that's how it kind of rolls. And then when demand got so high that people were requesting a website, I really needed one. I started from just zero. I started by myself. I built my website by myself. Nobody professional has even touched it till today. It's not the best website in the whole wide world, but it works. And when my business can afford it, it will do that next thing. So it's kind of just taking one step at a time and still taking inspired action every single day. And another thing in the business world that I have found is never to say no. Whenever somebody asks for something, I always, kind of find a way to deliver, even if we don't have the capacity at that very moment. So I kind of just say, all right, let's see what we can do. We can do something similar. We can do this for you though. So I always start from a place of giving people options, as opposed to just starting from a place of no. So it gives people a direction to go in, and you also don't lose business that way. So that's something I've really stuck to, and that has benefited me a lot, and people really appreciate as well. So if somebody says they have a really tight deadline or something like that, I don't say no, we can't do it. I try and see how we can do it. So that, I think, has really made our business grow faster and with a lot more trust from our clients as well, and build relationships, because when you do something that they don't expect you to do, it builds trust, it builds reassurance in the customer base, and you build relationships. Another thing that's really bugged me in the beginning was when we started getting a lot of people just doing the same thing, a lot of businesses who were doing the same thing as us, same designs as us. People even copied our name. So you know, when you're doing something and it's successful, people will try to replicate. That's going to happen. But what in that process, I would get really upset and really like sometimes angry, sometimes negative, like why are they doing what I'm doing? Why can't they do something else, you know? And the truth is, if you're doing something that is your absolute heart and soul, which this is for me, it's my passion, and I would do this for free. You know, I really enjoy. When you're leading from a place of passion, you will have longevity. And when people are leading from a place of just wanting to do something just because somebody else is doing it successfully, it doesn't last that long. So, you know, 80-90% of people who just, you know, popped up out of nowhere don't exist anymore. So don't worry about competition, don't worry about people doing what you're doing, don't worry about any of it. You lead from a place of passion and complete authenticity. Take a risk. Yes, going on a Bollywood journey and, you know, coming into design and fashion is a risk, but it's a risk that's paid off. So sometimes you have to take a risk, even if it is a calculated, well thought out one. And don't be stupid in your risk taking, you know, use your brain. But at the same time, don't be afraid of a little challenge. Don't be afraid of a little left of center decision, right? So that's something I always find that especially in our part of the world, we're very conservative. We need to know what our stable outcome would be. You know, everything has to be predictable, but it's not always going to be. But if you are prepared, if you are willing to work hard, if you are willing to put in the effort and see it through, then things happen. So guys, as far as success is concerned, it's very subjective. I consider Waidurya a successful business because one, it provides me with the lifestyle and the living that I always wanted, and number two, it makes me happy. So anything that makes you happy while you're doing it, I think is a part of your success story. So you know, in terms of practical stuff, I never thought something that I started with $150 would turn into a business where the brand is delivered to over 50 countries in the world. And considering that this is predominantly a very Indian aesthetic based business, and I'm a Sri Lankan who grew up in Australia, being able to tap into that market, being able to be accepted in that market, it gives me tremendous joy and pride to be able to bridge gaps like that, to bring people together like that. And when I see you know, interracial marriages, and when we design for marriages like that, it's a wonderful feeling. And anytime I design for a bride is a wonderful feeling anyway. So I think that's what I would consider Waidurya today is a success story because of that. I did not imagine it'll get to this stage in my wildest dreams, and you know, that's the magic of the universe. You just trust and you let go, and whatever you really put your faith behind, it absolutely manifests for you. Alright lovelies, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe and press the bell icon, because I'm told in the YouTube world that's very important. So do that, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you again. Stay blessed. Much love.